means what? In the realm of chiropractic, what does that mean? You're going to do what to people more?
Help more people.
Yeah. Which means what to your community?
Healthier community.
It means less people are dying. I mean, that's the stake. That's the must. That's the why for me. I show people my obituaries every week in the office on my Monday night. I look at them. Because, see, when I look at that and I look at this 30-year-old in the obits, that isn't supposed to happen. 30-year-olds aren't supposed to be dying from leukemia. Are they? At an epidemic rate, not Hodgkin's lymphoma, it's at an epidemic rate. And none of the chiropractors give a shit. It drives me insane. What are we doing? How can you not be animated and screaming and having fun on a Monday night? You're trying to save their life. How can they come out with these studies and nobody talks about them? I don't get it. Where's our leadership? Why aren't we excited about being chiropractors? I see that in groups. I see it in pockets. I've been to CORE. I've been to other groups where I see them get together, and that's great, and it's a great coming together. But there's 60,000 soldiers on the same team, supposedly, in this country, and we're not even close to being on the same map. Can we get our egos in the way, and who's right, who's adjusting what? I mean, are you sick? Oh, you use activator, or you only use this? Like, oh my God, who cares? What's the difference? I mean, what do you mean? So BJ didn't do it that way. Does that mean he didn't help anybody? Like, I don't even understand the logic. Right? Because he didn't use your technique? I mean, if you're adjusting people, you're adjusting people. You're moving things. Your principle's right, your objective's right, your intentions are right. You're going to save masses of people. Because it's a ripple effect. That mother is going to affect that child. See, if you get a mother and a father coming in, their kids are coming in, and the kids grow up in a chiropractic life, guess what? Then their kids will grow up in a chiropractic life. Because they're going to go. They see the value in going, just like you go to the dentist, right? That's what I did. I went when I was 4 years old for migraines my parents brought me, and then the whole family went after that. So we all go to the chiropractor now. Because my mom and dad brought me to the chiropractor. I mean, how awesome is that? It's phenomenal. It's what a great story, right? I probably would have been dead. They had me in so many freaking drugs, I probably would have been dead. I was 4 years old, banging my head up against the wall. I had severe migraine headaches. You know, so what did my parents do? What all American parents do? What do? You go above that thing behind the mirror and above the sink in the bathroom, right? Then what do? And you go to the pediatrician, Dr. Pastel. You know, I had the nice fish tank and the little chairs. I go to him, right? What's he do? Nice guy, beard, does the stethoscope thing, gives me drugs. Exactly, right? Then what do? Well, that's not working, so now I got to go to Rochester to a pediatric neurologist. They do a CT scan because they didn't have MRIs back then. And what do they do? So many drugs now. I lose bowel and bladder. I'm obviously a hyper guy and I talk a lot. So now all of a sudden I'm walking around the house like Zombie Boy. And my mom's like, what is going on? This is like wrong. Intuitively knew something was wrong. So our neighbor was Mrs. Nye, and they went to a chiropractor. My parents knew nothing about chiropractic. Zero. My mother didn't have a driver's license. Old Italian family, right? As it should be. No, I'm just kidding. They are listening. You guys are listening. Just checking. Don't throw anything at me, ladies. I'm only kidding. And then, so they bring me into Pontiac Bonneville, right? They had the seat. Remember the seats that would go out the back way? The ones that would kill you if you got in a car accident? Right? No seatbelt. We're crawling around the car, right? Right? And then they bring me in, and I start getting adjusted to my migraines. And you know what's really cool about that story is Mrs. Nye. Remember this, Leanne? Dorothy Nye. Remember Dorothy Nye? Mm-hmm. Dorothy Nye was Mrs. Nye's mother, okay, who lived in California. She lived in San Francisco, actually. She moved back home with her daughter because she was 97 years old. She couldn't take care of herself anymore. And I was her chiropractor. She lived for like 2 more years before she died. So I was her chiropractor for the last 2 years of her life. Isn't that wild? So I talk about that circle, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So Mrs. Nye, my neighbor, her daughter, got my mother to bring me to a chiropractor, but it was Mrs. Nye, grandmother, who got Mrs. Nye to go to the grandmother, right? So then she moves back to from San Francisco, and I get to be her chiropractor. Like, that was wild. And when I would adjust her, I would think about that all the time. Like, wow, that's weird. You know? Kind of cool, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so the objective here is nothing else matters. You got to connect so you don't care, right? Anything else. Natural allopathic practitioners. Listen, guys, there are There's a need for medicine and surgery, yes?
Yes.
There's a great need for physical therapists. I think they're freaking awesome, right? They're awesome. We aren't physical therapists. You're a chiropractor. So when you adjust somebody, your objective and what you're trying to correct, or your intention and what you're trying to achieve, is different than that of any other healthcare practitioner out there, including osteopaths. Right? So don't play in their field, if you will, and no one should play in ours for that matter, right? Because you know why the orthodontists like us? I have a lot of you guys have orthodontists as patients and their dental assistants, because a lot of dental assistants, right? Hopefully you do, right? Why do they like us? Why aren't they mad at us?
Because we don't do what they do.
Well, we're not in their field.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
But as soon as some chiropractor gets it in their head that they need to start putting braces on people because it's going to help them too, they're going to get pissed at us too. Right?
Right.